What is up, everybody? This is Recap Rewind. I'm JLAG and I'm here with
NBEA.
And we are here doing American Horror Story Season 7, Episode 8. And it's called
Winter of Our Discontent.
Dun dun dun.
So apparently this has two meanings. Not only does it mean that winter, it's about winter's little backstory, I guess, just like a little tad bit. But it also apparently is a book by this popular author, and it's about family like conflict and this epic family drama that happens in the end, like a murder happens in the end of the book. So and then
cool. So awesome. All right, we're just gonna get right into it, but stay tuned to the end of the episode because we're gonna do our new segment called Recap Roundup. Where we go through like the best moments, worst moments, all that
WTF moments, MVPs, LVPs. So you want to hear that for sure.
So stay tuned, guys. Enjoy the episode. All right.
And also follow us on Twitter at recap_rewind.
Shameless plug.
Just do it. Just follow us so that you know when our new episodes are up.
Exactly.
Cool.
Guys.
Okay, let's start. Go.
Okay. So right off the top, we find out that Dr. Rudy Vincent
had no
didn't
idea.
know anything. Well, how did you feel about the whole situation?
No, I was totally surprised. I was like, "This is crazy." I thought he already knew from the time.
Yeah. So we kind of it's not really like right away noticed. It's alluded to the fact that he just didn't know because he congratulates Kai as if nothing's wrong, and then he says all these things like, "Oh, I'm really, really proud of you, and I hope that you can be better," and all this other stuff. But he does notice like the white supremacists, and he noticed like maybe all these like little shady things happening.
Like, and I think when Kai got shot, and Kai's like, "But you never even came to the hospital to like see me or like check up on me,"
right? And
that's when it comes out that Rudy was sort of like embarrassed by Kai, or like he didn't really want to be associated with him.
Right.
And that's the first time when you're like, oh shit, like, oh, Rudy doesn't know that with his brother. Like he knows now, but he didn't. He's not really
stayed away from
supporting
his, like,
him. You know what I mean? Which is huge, because our whole theory was that, you know, their connection and their relationship is the reason why like Ali got crazy, like Rudy gave like the files to him, that's what we were assuming. So that was a shocker for sure.
That was a shocker. And right at the very end was really, really weird in that scene where he says, "The last thing that I want you to do for me is call me councilman." So he still demands respect now from his older brother.
I think for me, like in this episode too, like there's a lot of moments where, you know, I've wanted to believe that Kai might come through in some way, but in this episode, he kind of just seals it for me. Like he's a lunatic, and I think even for Rudy too, like seeing his brother, like, you know, like, okay, yeah, you're a councilman in the town, like you're doing okay maybe, but I think like him seeing him in that basement and like saying like call me councilman, like it put him over the edge. Rudy was like, this guy's messed up, for like sure. He's messed up.
And then for the viewer, I guess whatever happens and by the end of the episode, you're like, he's definitely he's definitely crazy.
He's for sure crazy.
Yeah, he's definitely crazy.
For sure.
Okay, so then it cuts to the racist dude bros at the house, and they're all leaving.
Yeah.
And
at the restaurant.
Oh yeah, they're at the restaurant.
So Ivy's like serving them food now.
Right. Yeah. And she can't deal with it. She can't deal with his anti-feminist movement that's happening right now.
If you smiled more, you'd be more fuckable.
All the
typical like insults that women like hear, and
the catcalling and making fun of them or whatever. So she gets cheesed, and Winter like is about to slice somebody's neck off, which is
so like I guess Winter and Ivy are like legit a couple. Like they're like Facebook or like thing now, official.
They're a thing now.
It's pretty messed up.
I was really
like in all of this, dude. You left your wife, your son's somewhere, who knows, and like you're like screwing like a young girl now. Like it's pretty.
So we don't find that out until a little bit later after. Like I mean, I guess it's like in the kitchen scene, like in the.
But
back.
you can tell they're like touchy feely kind of. I'm like, well, what's going? Like they're legit.
I didn't book it until she's like, "Oh, honey."
That one I was like, okay, they're legit now. Like they are.
Dang.
They're like.
I was like, when did that happen? I'm like, I guess it makes sense or whatever. Or maybe she was kind of like low key promised to her when she joined. Who knows? I don't know. Who cares? Ivy sucks, man.
Yeah, Ivy just sucks. Yeah.
So they all like can't deal with it, and then it does cut to like a really quick scene where he is a councilman. I guess it's just showing his power and his influence, like Kai's influence, where
Yeah, because I think they're in the kitchen and Beverly's in the kitchen too, and Beverly's like so over it.
Yeah,
she's like
done.
washing those dishes. She's like, I'm done.
She's like, why are we
I'm
doing
seriously
this
done.
right
Like we're like the peasants in this. Like he
Yeah.
promised us like equality and all these things.
Yeah.
And I think Ivy's like, when did this happen? Like when did these men take over?
Yeah.
And Beverly's like, you missed this huge meeting that happened last night. Like where were you? And then it cuts to that scene where Kai is talking to the members, and they show like the army, like his army basically.
He's using them to intimidate everybody.
It was really
so
freaky.
scary.
There's a guy sitting there with a gun.
Yeah,
the guy was like legit holding a gun on his lap. I'm like, are you even allowed to have weapons in there though?
I think it was a really quick throwback to how easy it is to
have your own mercenaries.
Have your own mercenaries getting hired for the government.
So the one guy's like, so Kai's like basically like, who all in favor of like having these like guys like come through like in the town, and the one man was like, no, like this is messed up, I'm not okay with this. And Kai's like looks over at him, he's like, because you live in a gated community, but your daughters have to leave for school every day.
Do you ever think about
and
that?
He's like, okay, I agree. He's like, I'm okay with it.
True.
So like scare tactics, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. So then
it just shows though like how much power this guy has.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we get to hear Winter's storyline.
Winter's
a little bit of the past.
Which okay, can I just say this now? Sure. I really wasn't. I love that whole scene, but I wasn't impressed. As in, like, I wanted more for her backstory.
Absolutely.
Like, who was Winter when she was in college? Like, it seems like those were the years that really like shaped who she was.
But I don't know if
this is like the beginning. I feel like
I don't know if we need to know as much about like Winter as a person, because I think we did get a bit of that in the beginning where she was talking about how much she was all for Hillary, and
I guess, yeah.
you know, she does throw back to that. I guess this was
more about Kai.
Yeah, it's more about her relationship with Kai.
But I thought it was gonna be Winter because the episode was like Winter.
Right.
So.
But we do find out what gets her kind of in. Like her trust goes in to Kai. Him. Yeah. So it's October 2015, and they're just like trolling people on. I guess it's like a Halloween tradition or something. Yeah. And they're just trolling these pro-lifers on some chat room or whatever. And they start talking to this guy, Pastor Charles, and then he ends up private messaging them and talking to them about like the Judgment House.
Yeah, he sends them like an invite to this creepy looking house.
Yeah,
and sure enough, like Kai's like, let's go check it out.
Yeah, of course, like an idiot. And this man shows up and he opens the door, and like this Pastor creepy. Charles like is so freaking creepy. He's like, I am the watchman. He looks like
okay.
He looks like that creepy, like that ooky spooky guy from like Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't know if you ever watched it, but like he's like that, like the guy that opens up the door.
Yeah, he's just scraggly and like,
scraggly and gross. Like, did you notice there was like kind of like a Stranger Things like?
Oh my god, totally, totally. The music. Yeah. I was like, did they copy the Stranger Things like theme song? Yeah. I totally booked that too.
I was like, okay, that's like some vibes going on.
It was like totally that song.
It's like getting us excited for Friday when it gets released. So then it shows all these like really fucked up scenes where, okay, so first of all, he locks all the doors.
Essentially, it's like a haunted house, like this haunted house, a really messed up version.
And so the first scene is like a woman who's like having an abortion.
There's like a crib with like a blood stain in it.
Yeah, and the girl's like, "Hey, get me out of here! He like kidnapped me." Yeah. And then they're like, "I don't know if it's real." And Kai's like
kind of laughing at first. He's like, "Oh wow, this is really cool."
And I think that kind of just shows like they're both their perspectives and why Kai went the way he went and why Winter went the way she went. True. Because she's a normal person. Did like
Winter book it right away?
Yeah, she's like, this woman is freaking bleeding. Yeah. Like, we gotta go. Like, this is real.
Yeah.
And he booked it, but he was like, interesting.
He almost respected it. He was like, wow. Like,
he's like, I want to know more. So it's almost like, even though like by the end of like this whole scene, he does save everybody. It's like a very like, I want to know how he like got to this point.
Yeah.
So anyway, it just shows his like the way he like thinks about things. So yeah. Anyway, they go through the house and there's all these different scenes. First, it's an aborted woman or a woman giving an abortion, and then it cuts to a man on drugs. Mm-hmm. So it's like another sin of like doing shit to your body or whatever. And it's like a guy and he's like barely alive, and
so creepy.
And he's like, he's injecting me with all like my favorite drugs, like ecstasy and stuff, but like I'm not living right now. Yeah. Like my body's like dying. And then the last one is like a gay guy. Mm-hmm. That is about to get like his like fucking
he's in like a chair that like apparently like after the guy talks like the knives spikes just like come out through. Yeah. And during this whole time like the pastor's like talking over like this like speaker system.
Right. And he's like, as soon as he stops talking, he's gonna press the button. I'm gonna die. So they like try to get him out.
Yeah, like Kai's like, let's get him out.
And the very last moment, they get him out.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, we're done here. Let's
like
just
save it. He saves the other two people.
So they save everybody, and then
it cuts to Winter. Because he's like, Winter, go out, like go, run, like go call like help or whatever. So while Kai is trying to like get everyone else out, Winter's like dipping from the front door. Yeah. And obviously she gets stopped by like the pastor.
Right.
And he's like, in your eyes, I see like a connection to like the other people in this house.
It's like
he's like, you're gonna be perfect here.
Yeah.
And like he was about to like do something to her, I guess. And then Kai comes and like saves her.
Yeah.
He kills like the guy, right?
A part of me was like, I didn't understand why they even got away in the first place, because I think he had like this killer guy, this Pastor Charles, had so many moments to like do something to these people.
Yeah, because he watched them the whole time too.
Yeah, he was watching them. He could have pressed the button a long time ago. Like, I don't know, whatever. Anyway.
Well, you know what?
Like, not that I wanted to see that happen,
you're saying that
like,
too,
it
kind of shows
contrived.
The sloppiness of this man, right? So the way you're saying, Kai is looking at this and saying like, "Ooh, I want to know how this guy did all this."
Yeah,
you're looking at the pastor and saying, "You did a really shitty and sloppy job."
Yeah,
because even Kai after says, you messed up. Like, everyone that you chose wasn't even doing what you were saying they were doing.
Yeah,
like the drug addict was like at rehab. Yeah, the girl was like just picking up, she had a UTI, so she was at the abortion clinic. Like,
and the gay guy was
like the right job.
like volunteering.
Yeah, so that's interesting too, right? Because
he
almost took that and said, I'm gonna do this the right way though.
Right.
Like, whatever I end up doing, it's gonna be the right way.
Very interesting. Like, I never saw it that
the
way,
rightest way you could. You know what I mean?
But yeah, for sure, Pastor Charles is really bad at choosing people, and so they do put him. They put him in the chair, and they're like, "Peace out."
The spikes like.
So everybody decides, I guess, collectively, like, instead of calling the police, we're just gonna kill this motherfucker.
Yeah, like the real justice, he said, is like just killing him.
And actually, Winter is the one that calls it. She's like, kill him.
Yeah.
So I think that's important too.
Yeah, and that's their connection, right?
And it kind of creates that bond. So she does. So then it cuts back to them in the kitchen, and she was like, "Yeah, that's like the reason why." Like, I don't know, whatever. And then it does show that scene with like Ivy and Winter. She's like, "Oh, honey, it's okay." And then like she tries to make it,
"Oh, honey."
And then Bev is like, "I ain't doing no fucking dishes no more. So like, we better figure this shit out, because I'm gonna come for your brother."
She's so done.
She's like, she's like, "Why are you even backing him right now?" He's like, "He sucks. Yeah. He's a shitty person."
She's like, either you're with us or you're with him.
Right. Like, because they're still off that like feminist tip like from last episode, so that's why like she's like so turned up. But yeah, I guess I don't know what Bev's plan was, but like she's like, we need to do something because I'm done with this shit. Then it cuts to, she's like, let me talk to him. So then it cuts to Winter trying to talk to Kai in the basement.
Weirdest scene ever.
And the whole scene is fucking weird. Everything following this is weird. So they do like pinky ring power, and in the middle of it all, he starts crying, and she's like, "Yo, you never broke a pinky power.
Yeah, like you never interrupted one.
Like, what's going on with you?" And he like has a sob story about how the work that he's doing is amazing, and what we're doing is amazing, and it'll be the work of generations, and we're the seed, and na. So
as soon as he said something, he's like, for the next, or the something that we created. Yeah. And I was like, oh, hell no.
And then he says, you will be the mother of dragons. No, not the mother of dragons, but the mother
of like the next Messiah.
Generation. And she's like, the fuck, that's incest, yo, you fucking crazy
she's like,
person.
That's incest.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, but it's okay. He's like, I'll get someone else to like impregnate you, and then I'll be fucking them from the back. I'm like, this is the craziest story. Like, what?
I also love it that, like, you know, because it's crazy situations, but it's mixed with Billy Lord's like deadpan comedy.
Yes, and also like she doesn't show anything.
Her delivery is like, that's fucked up, but she doesn't like
that's incest. But like, she's not like, she's not like,
because if it was, I feel like if it was somebody else in that role, she'd be like overacting it, whereas like she's taking it as like she's like internalizing all of it. She's like, oh fuck, it's fucked up though.
Well, I think too, because like she's this is her brother, like she's put so much stock into him over the years too, and then now he's like sketching out, and she's like, I don't know how to react to this. Like, what the hell?
Exactly. And so he continues on with some like jarble about like, you're gonna be effed by Samuel, and Samuel, I'm gonna F him,
and then like he'll impregnate you. So like it'll be my kid still.
So it'll be my kid because I'm gonna like put it in him. It just doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so he's like, I will be the father and you'll be the mommy.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Mommy.
And so then it cuts to, and then she's like, oh God, I guess I'm doing this. And then it cuts to Allie and Dr. Rudy. And she's like, what the fuck, dude?
Rudy's like, I'm so sorry.
He's like, I'm so sorry.
I'm
she's
so
like,
sorry. I ruined your whole life.
And then she's like, what the hell? I've been gone for 2 episodes. You put me away.
3
and now
weeks.
I missed like 2 full episodes of the show. Thanks a lot. I'm not getting paid and shit. And he's like, yeah, I'm super, super sorry. And then she's like, how do you know all this stuff?
Yeah.
And then, or no.
She pieced it together. She's like, what?
Yeah.
She's like, wow, you guys know everything about me.
Yeah,
Kai knows everything about my fears.
Yeah.
You gave him the files. And he's like, no, I swear to God, I didn't. Like, I didn't share anything with him. He must have like snuck into my office and like stolen my files.
Right. And so he tries to assure Allie, like, don't worry, I'll fix this. I'll get your son back.
Yeah.
It's like, if it's the last thing I do,
that
I'll have
seems,
your son back.
because I think he even said, like, you want your wife back or whatever. And she was like, I want my son back.
Yeah.
Like, it seems that's all she wants right now. She just wants her kid, and that's it.
Fair enough. So what did you think of that whole situation? The fact that like he kind of did come out of the woodwork and was like,
came a little bit
sorry
too late.
I committed you,
yeah,
bro.
a little bit too late now. The fact that you didn't see anything off with your brother this whole time.
Yeah.
But I feel like that does happen. There's a lot of stories about like these like shooters and these gunners who like seem like they live like a normal life, and then like their family's like, like, but he was pretty normal. Like he just shot up an entire school.
Like that is what Allie says to him. She's like, yo, you lived under his roof all this time,
like,
and
how
you
did you
didn't
not
even know? Like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with you? But I think I get that too. Yeah, absolutely. I think that like, how are you gonna know that your fucking brother's gonna be cray cray? Especially, it does seem that because at some points in time, even in the scene, he does like admit the fact that he wasn't paying attention to her. Like he says, he's like, I didn't even put like all the pieces together. She's like, how did you miss those things? He's like, I wasn't like present. Like I wasn't paying attention to you. Like he wasn't even paying attention to her during any of her fucking sessions.
And we were thinking that to like, oh, he's evil.
Yeah.
No, he was just like a shitty doctor.
He's just like a really shitty therapist. Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, so he's like, I'll fix this. Don't worry. And I don't understand this next scene so much because I'm just like, what is happening? And so
I think the irony of this entire scene
about this scene is hilarious.
Just like everything is hypocritical.
It's so good though. I think that's why
it was so good. Yeah.
So it's the sex scene. It's like the faux sex scene, and so Winter's wearing this like long, like flowy pink garment, and Samuel's just like chilling and sitting there. Samuel just looks
nervous because he's got to get it up at this point.
Yeah,
he doesn't know how that's gonna happen.
And then we get
Kai like walks down.
He plays some music.
He plays that song.
And that's when. Oh my gosh.
And Kai's like, this song will be the song forever for every Messiah born.
And she's like, isn't the point of Messiah like to have only one of them? And he's like, shh, don't speak.
She's like, I don't understand though. Like you're just like, you don't make sense.
He's wacky tacky. Like,
and she's like, crazy. You just made this shit up like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
like
which is literally. Sense. So,
but like, she's not really stopping it. She's still going along. She's still going along
with it at this point. So he like lays her on the bed. It's all sexy with it, like, and awkward with the music. Like it's very very. It's like,
and you're wondering like, and we know that detective is gay. Like he's not.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, but how's this gonna happen?
How's it gonna happen? How's it gonna happen? So he ends up like going on top of her, and he's like,
first he like jerked him off.
Oh right, he just like he puts like holy water on his dick and like fucking like jerks him off.
It's just so.
And he's like yes.
Oh, like okay, that's not gay though. Like that's not like gay. No, that's okay.
No, NB, that's not gay. Okay. So he like jumps on it, and then he like can't get it in. He like can't like work it, and he's like, I can't get hard. You know that I can't do this with a woman anymore.
Kai's like, it's just the pressure of you making a Messiah.
Yeah.
He's like, true.
And then he's like, I cannot enter you until like you have entered him. Show. And like
and Windsor's just like, bro, what is happening?
Like literally, bro, what is happening? So she's like, you know what? Fuck this. She gets off the bed and she's like, I feel like I'm being raped. Like this is weird. It's funny that it like took that moment for her to get there. But sure, okay, whatever, Winter. So she's like, no, I'm not down for this. And she's like, you literally came up with this like whole situation like this afternoon, like all these dumb rules that you're like putting in place. Like why does it have to be this way? Whatever. And he's like, and then like I didn't book it until I think like the next scene, but like there's a whisper. You don't see him say it, but it's like no one is above the law.
Yeah.
So
I thought she was like gonna die.
I know. I was like, shit. And then it cuts to Allie, and she's like sad. She's like holding like Ozzy's truck in his bed. She's like, meh, meh, meh. And she invites Kai over with his like racist bros. And so he comes through and they have a conversation. They talk about a bunch of stuff, but the big thing that they talk about is Allie wants to kind of barter with him. She's like, I want something from you, and I'll tell you something, but I want something from you.
I want my kid back.
I want my kid back. That's like her big thing. And he's like, okay, well, like, why should I even like bother, I guess? Like, he's like, I don't know. I can't control your family. Like, what do you want from me? But then she like divulges and says like, your brother is coming for you too, by the way. I'm just like going to give you that as a tidbit of information so you can trust me or whatever. But this is what's happening. I want my kid back. Can you please just give me a kid back? And he's like, your hair is different. Like, what's different about you?
She seems stronger.
Yeah,
she definitely seems
and
stronger.
And she does say, she's like, you know, she says, and I think it's one of the most powerful lines in the entire episode is she says, you know, you did something that nobody else
could do. Yeah.
Like, she's like, the therapist, all the meds in the world could not do this. Yeah. She's like, you took away all my fear. She's like, now I'm not afraid of anything.
Yeah.
And
it was sick.
And then he eats a sandwich because then he trusts her or whatever, which shows like that there's like this bond that's happening, which in my opinion, we'll talk about at the end of the episode, is going to be his downfall. I think it's going to 100% like show that, you know.
I didn't think of it like that actually. That the fact that he ate the sandwich was like sort of like, okay, I trust you now.
Yeah. Because he thought
like,
it was
I see
poison.
you.
Yeah, exactly. And he's intrigued by it.
Yeah.
The bad thing is that I think he's mistaking that weakness that a lot of the like all of his other followers have with this attraction to the sameness of him, because he's the same as her at this point. They're like the same person. He is someone who doesn't fear anything. He's ready and he's willing to manipulate people to like get what he wants, where she's like just at the beginning of that stage too. So right now she just said it to him point blank, I'm not afraid of nothing no more, bro. I can like do whatever I want. And he preys on fear,
and at this point she's lost everything anyway.
So like, she doesn't care.
Like, who cares?
She doesn't care. So he preys on that fear, so now she feels unstoppable, and he's not going to be able to do anything to control her because he doesn't have anything to scare her about, I guess, except for Ozzy. Like that would be his only like trump card. Oh god, trump card. And so it cuts to poor Winter. She gets her punishment. She's wearing a dunce cap. She's wearing a dunce cap on the fucking highway, and she's picking up trash. And
except she's not really picking it up, so she's like, just like she picks
pushing
it up,
it around,
and then she like dumps it out again. Because guess what? Kai doesn't believe in global warming, and he's doing the opposite.
Right.
He's like spreading garbage. It's so stupid.
And, so
she's doing that, and then the detective Samuels like comes by,
and then she like comes into the car, and there's like a really comedic moment where her dunce cap gets caught in the door. It's pretty funny. It's like good stuff. And
he's like, here's your lunch,
and it's like some sloppy shit, and she's like, give me that apple, and he like puts it in between his legs.
It's funny how it was like a red apple.
True. Why?
Like for temptation.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like it was like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was like that whole dick thing or whatever.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, she wanted the apple. He's like, no, fuck that. And then she was like, why do you even follow? He's like, he's not even here. Why are you saying that I can't eat that? He's like, no, because he said you have to eat that slop or whatever.
Like, if he just gave her the apple, it would have been okay even. Like
seriously. Everything would have been okay.
Yeah.
So then you hear his backstory.
Yeah.
Which I was waiting for as well.
Yes.
And essentially you find out that Samuel is a crooked cop from the get-go. And he meets Kai in a like an alleyway.
He basically tells Kai, he's like, look, give me half of the drugs that you're selling, or like more than half of the drugs that you're selling through your freaking brother's like prescription pad thing. And he's like, well, like work out a deal. He's like, come by my house and give me the money like every like night or like every week or whatever.
Right. So at one point in time, he does come to see.
He comes to his house. But like he doesn't knock. He just sort of like walks into like Kai walks into his house.
So I feel like it's like typical of Kai. And
you hear like moaning.
You hear moaning, but you don't only just hear stuff, you see stuff. First of all, he's playing some grunge ass shitty fucking screamo
like
music.
Angry music.
And then you look around and you see that he's freaking neo-Nazi, guys. He's a white supremacist neo-Nazi. There's just like memorabilia everywhere. He's got swords. He's got like the swastika everywhere. And so this guy's like, and he's definitely and it's on display. So he's that type. He's that type of person. You know, like they created this person, and then he's having some trouble in the bed, and she's like, "The hell's wrong with your dick, dude? It's so soft. It's like a little fucking baby soft dick," and he's like, Anyway, she ends up leaving, and then she bumps into Kai, and he's like, "But I think she says something.
She's like, he tried to choke me, or like,
he can only. He's like, this guy's like got a soft dish. He can only like do it if he like he's choking me. So he's fucked up.
Kai knows that this guy's like a violent, like really fucked up person.
Yeah.
He's like, perfect,
excellent. And so he kind of has a conversation with him, and he's like all sad and shit. I don't understand why this guy is like okay with him just like chilling in his room with him.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything.
But maybe it's because he just like feels embarrassed because of what just had happened. So anyway, he tells him, he's like, you don't need a woman, you need a man.
This conversation blew my mind.
How persuasive was it?
Yeah, like it blew my mind. I was like, wow.
Like he knew how to.
He's like, no, you're not gay though. Like you just need like a man to fuck.
Well, he said it himself. He's like, you need to fuck a man, and then he's like, no, but I'm not gay. And then he's like, it's not. It's not a gay thing. It's not sexuality. It's like power. He's like, it's about power.
He's like giving all your power away. Now it's time to like get power. Take power.
Take power. Ugh. And so I had two questions here.
Like, oh my god.
Or two realizations. One realization is all white supremacists are gay? Question mark?
No.
I'm just joking.
It's the idea that Kai is feeding off of that. He knows it. Kai knows it, obviously.
Yeah, and the second statement that I had obviously was like the real one is like that he's basically like he finds a way to persuade anything.
Exactly.
He literally turned someone who was questioning into like the full like Kinsey scale gay, like without him even realizing.
Yeah.
And even to this day, this guy's in denial. Yeah. He's like I'm still not gay. I just fuck guys, and I get fucked by guys.
That's not gay. Yeah.
But that's not gay though. Cool, bro.
That's why I found it interesting, but in that sex scene that Kai already knew he had to like jerk him off first.
Right.
Bro, you know he's gay. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then it cuts back to Winter, and she's so confused. She's like looking at him, and she's like, dude, you're totally gay.
She's like, you're gay. He's like, no, I'm not.
He's like, God, man. And so
he's like, I'm gonna have sex with you right now, okay?
He's like, let me show you that I'm not gay.
Oh, God.
So he tries to like mount her. And no, then she goes off on him. She like pushes him off, and she like somehow finds a gun.
She gets his gun from like the side, I guess.
And then she's like, you're a turd. Say that you're a fucking turd, bro.
She's like, Valerie was right. And I was like, oh yeah, Valerie, last week's episode was amazing.
Made everybody a feminist. Yeah. So she's like, Valerie was right. You really are a turd. You better say that you're a turd. And he's like, no, weirdo. And then she was like, when Hillary lost, I did too. So like it kind of brings it all back to the first episode where she's like, I'm fucked up. And she says something that's a little bit ominous, which we can talk about a little bit later as well, or we can talk about it now, where she says, it's too late for me, but it's also too late for you, bro.
No, I didn't like that.
Because I feel like it means that she's like willing to die like for this whole situation. Yeah. Like I feel like she knows that like it's already too late for her because she's too enraptured in it, and she might need to sacrifice herself at the end of it all, just to like stop Kai. Yeah. So we will see. But she shoots freaking Samuel in the head. Doomsh. Yeah. Done. Bye, bro.
Bye.
And then it cuts to the final scene, which is being the betrayers to me. It's not betrayers, bro, it's traitors, but they wrote that in the scene. So it's interesting that like I feel like I booked that, but maybe I wasn't supposed to book it, but maybe I was, because I feel like even though Kai is really, really smart, he says some dumb things and does dumb things. So it's almost like sometimes when you hear those things, it's like, I hear that. I hear you. I don't know.
So basically Kai kills his brother.
Right. So Rudy and Bev are like the traitors, and everybody's wearing masks around him, and they pull off Rudy's, like Dr. Rudy's thingamajiggy, and he's like, family first, we need to talk about this. And he like pleads for his life. He's like, I'm so sorry, whatever, like we're like brothers or whatever. And right at the very end they do like the pinky power, and he's like, you're the one that taught me this. And then he was like, yeah, you're really cool or whatever. And then he cuts his fucking finger off.
Yeah.
And then that's when Winter takes her mask
she's
off.
Like, what?
And she's like, bro, hey. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing here? And then she was like, sorry about it. Like she doesn't do anything about it. She's like, I can't. And then he stabs him cuts his throat, and then he dies.
He's dead.
And then now it's Bev's turn.
Yeah.
And so Bev is like, what did I do wrong? Like, I don't understand. And he was like, you killed Samuel. So, like, Winter told me the whole story. So then we see an alternate version of it where basically they're like sitting, she's eating the apple, and she's like chilling. And
then just Bev comes by the window and just shoots Samuel.
And then he's like, that's a message for your bro. And then he like she walks away.
So she obviously set that up.
Yep. And Bev is like, that's bullshit lies. She's lying to you. If you don't see that by now, like, you're fucking retarded. Shouldn't have said that. If she said that to you, then like you're probably like a weirdo or don't understand. You're an idiot. And she like goes off on him.
Yeah,
she says like, you're
like,
incompetent.
You promised me all these things.
This is the biggest mistake you ever made. Like, you're a turd. Like, she says that too. Yeah. And he's like, I don't want to kill you now. I just want you to suffer. So take her to the isolation chamber.
Yeah. So she's like gone now.
And then it turns out that
the clowns behind Kai start like taking off their masks, like one
and
by
they're all
one.
like newbies mostly. Yeah, because everybody else. We see dead.
Like the typical people, and then the last one
is none other than
Ally McBeal.
Ally. Hashtag called it. Hashtag recap rewind wins all the time because we always know the answers.
So this is the thing. So that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
This is the thing with Ally. I don't.
And then Ivy's like, oh fuck.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think she's there to like be a part of him.
No.
Obviously, I think she's working from the inside.
Yeah.
And it seems like, well, we said it from the beginning too. Like, we had thoughts of like Beverly working from the inside, Winter working from the inside. But I think like Ally's gonna be the one that really like does something.
Of course, because Ivy's doing nothing,
right?
So I don't know who else can do anything.
Yeah. There's only 3 episodes left.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I can see it ending in that amount of time. We need like a couple more crazy ones, and then like a prologue an epilogue.
Yeah.
In the final episode. So let's get into our favorite section.
Recap roundups.
MVP. My MVP was Ally because I think she's coming through. Finally, 3 episodes left, but I think she's gonna come through for everything.
Yeah. I think the fact that she joined the cult is gonna be a huge factor in the next little bit. My MVP was Winter.
Yeah.
So
okay, that's the thing I want to talk about. Like, in the end, like, do you think Winter is working for him still, or is she like somehow in the middle and doesn't really know what she's doing?
I think it's the latter. I think the fact that she doesn't really know what she can do right now. She knows that he's really, really powerful. She's the one that told the girls in the beginning, like, you can't just get rid of him. Yeah. He's too powerful. He's gonna like, we need to like use him right now. Yeah. But she doesn't know how to do it. So maybe with this like Ally coming through, she'll be able to kind of understand what to do next. I don't know if her and Winter are gonna get along very well since she basically stole her wife.
True.
But you know, I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll have to see
I'm sure at some point Ivy's gonna come around too. Like, Ivy's gonna have to like flip over.
Flip to what?
And like help Ally. Because she's useless. She's been useless for this whole time.
Speaking of,
my LVP was Ivy.
None other than.
She's literally been useless from episode 1 to now. She has not done anything.
I feel like every single time, ever since we started this whole segment, I've been like, LVPs, like, Ivy hands down. Yeah, she was useless this episode. She doesn't do anything. She just like whines and whines and whines.
She just whines, yeah. She's not actually doing anything other than like screwing Winter.
Yeah. Oh, honey. And
honey.
My LVP of the episode is Dr. Rudes. Dr. Rudy Vincent. I just thought that,
sucks because I think he's a beautiful man. And
R.I.P.
And I think he came in it too late.
Yeah. No? I think that's why I think he's LVP. Like, he just didn't really book anything fast enough. And when he did come through, he made the wrong decision and went to Ally, and Ally betrayed him, and now he's dead.
Yeah.
So it was like a very fast run for him. Like, he came in. The only thing that he played in terms of integral parts was Kai was stealing his prescription pads, and he told Kai to like hide the bodies. But other than that, what else did he do? Oh, and he was seeing Ali, so like he understood like their fears or whatever.
Yeah.
But beyond that, like you were useless. If anything, you were like helping Kai get what he wanted.
Yeah, he did for sure, of course.
Unknowingly. So he was like the worst.
Best moment. My best moment was Winter shooting Detective Samuels because it was so satisfying. And so
satisfying.
Good.
That's true.
Yeah.
That was a good moment.
Yeah.
My moment in a similar sense is Pastor Charles getting murked at the Judgment House.
It was good
because it was good to see that powerful scene and all this kind of twisted shitty stuff happening, and then like him like getting what's good to him.
WTF moment. My WTF moment is the anointing. It was so weird.
Oh my gosh.
It was so weird, and I was just waiting for Winter to be like, I'm done. But she kind of like pushed it along too. Like she did. She held out for quite a bit, and I was just like, what the F is going on right now?
That's exactly what
literally
I thought
what
too.
the F.
Yeah, it really was like a WTF moment for sure. Because the entire time I was like, is this real? Is this a dream sequence? The music didn't like added to it. It was so much fun to watch, and it was so like awkward.
It was, yeah.
But yeah, for sure, definitely a WTF moment of the episode. My WTF moment is going back to my LVP of the episode. The fact that Kai's brother didn't know shit. Like the fact that Dr. Rudy knew nothing.
Yeah.
I think that was a big moment for me because like, and it happened in the very beginning. I was like, what the? I was like, how did you not know anything? I felt the same exact way as Ali did. It was like, what? How did you not know that all this was happening? And you know, even him visiting Kai in the beginning and saying like, oh, I'm happy for you, and not booking that there's like white supremacists everywhere, and like I need to get this guy help. I need to do something about it. Like, where I could understand if they created his character to be like this like really super uber busy like therapist, but like, bro, what are you doing with your time?
You're a small town like therapist. Like, chill the F out.
Like you're not like busy. You're not like you got like women on your hands or something. You got like some like family or some shit. You're just like some lonely ass like therapist with a business, and like you're not doing anything, and you still didn't book the fact that your brother's a fucking maniac. Yeah. So yeah, you suck.
I mean, he was a maniac since the moment he put his parents in the bedroom. Like that should have been like your freaking trigger. That's true. But he's an idiot. The best line of the episode, and I don't know if you booked this. It was actually from Ivy, surprisingly.
Damn.
And it was like in the beginning, and she was like, how did this handmade shit even happen? And she's in the kitchen, and now I just burst out laughing because I'm like, oh my god, of course. Yeah. It is so handmade, and it's like a throw to the show, which was amazing for us too. So
for
yeah,
sure.
That was my favorite line.
Yeah, I don't think I had one specifically. I think it was just there wasn't anything that like really like caught my eye. I think
Winter's lines are just amazing.
Winter's lines were amazing.
All of Winter's.
I think it was interesting to hear how it's not really a quote or a line or anything, but it's the way that Kai manipulated Samuel when he was like basically like, you're not gay, and him,
that was the crazy line.
Him persuading that whole thing, like saying like it's not about masculinity, it's about this, it's about power, and me inserting the power,
giving power, like
taking power. So like the fact that he was able to like come up with this eloquent way of explaining like his problem and saying like, I have a solution for you, I need to fuck you, which is like the funniest thing in the world. Is like he basically got him to get boned by him, which is hilarious. And like the entire time there's a slow motion shot of Kai like doing it, and he's like freaking like laughing at it like with himself. He's like, this is hilarious, like I got this guy so easy.
It's so true.
So it really does show like how powerful Kai is and his persuasive abilities, you know. If you can say, and you can say anything about this guy, but at least he's like very, very persuasive.
As long as they have a fear and like a weakness, you can like just like prey on that.
It's true.
Okay guys, I think that's it for this episode.
Yep.
Be sure, we really want you guys to like and subscribe to our podcast on iTunes and
please.
YouTube. Please
And don't forget to rate us, guys.
And rate us.
Throw us a few.
We need reviews.
Yeah, throw us a few reviews.
You guys.
Even if they're awful, if you thought that our voices suck or whatever, just tell us and we can try to improve and do better.
Yes. Tell us what you're liking, what you're not liking.
Definitely. Or tell us what the predictions are you think of for this show.
Like for AHS.
Yeah.
And follow us at recap_rewind for all the information. And the links,
and the linkies. And don't forget, guys, by the end of the season, we only have 3 episodes left. We are here doing a PopSocket giveaway.
We literally have crazy cool PopSockets to give to you guys, our fans.
We are giving them out.
And all you have to do is comment on the video on YouTube, like it, and just tell us what you think the next season of AHS is going to be.
That's it.
And then you can possibly win a customized PopSocket.
That's exciting, no?
If you don't know what a PopSocket is, Google it. They're really freaking practical.
They really are. All right,
okay,
guys.
Bye.
Bye.